everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Madej, and this is my Madej series. I know I have been a little bit inconsistent with these videos, but I am back, and today I would like us to talk about this thing that has been talked about so much, but I feel like it has not received the attention it deserves. And the kinds of things that I hear people saying on this topic is actually, let me say, it is not thought out so well, because I hear people blaming these teen pregnancies on parents. They're saying that parents are not giving the kind of guidance they are supposed to be giving their kids at this time. Sometimes I just most of people are seriously blaming the kids who are actually supposed to be guided to avoid such things. A lot of people are blaming the media for exposing a lot of things that may spark the curiosity of these young kids into doing other things. These things that we see young people doing that may capture the attention of this our teens, and actually fuel their curiosity and end up doing things they're not supposed to be doing. But I came to a realization that this thing should actually be something that is done jointly by different stakeholders. It is not the responsibility of parents. It is not the responsibility of kids. I'm sure at least half of you have seen maybe parents or people who are maybe the age of our parents just passing by kids who are actually doing things they're not supposed to be doing at their ages, and even at times they are in their school uniforms, but a parent just passes by and is okay, doesn't feel bothered by whatever they are doing. And when you ask them, they're like, these are not my kids. How many times have we seen siblings covering up for each other? You're covering up for your young kid, just for your young sibling, because you want to maintain your loyalty and feel like you're supporting them without knowing that you're actually spoiling them. Some sneak out of their houses at wee hours of the night, and you know that it is actually happening, but you can't tell your parents, or when they ask you, you lie about it, and you feel like you are supporting these kids. You are actually spoiling your kids. How many of us have left our computers, our phones, and these gadgets that you can use to access whichever information, whichever videos, whichever pictures you can you can access from the internet without supervision? You have left your kids with them without any kind of supervision. How many times? And not just our kids, even out there, you just find you have this group of friends, and they are these younger people, and they ask you for maybe your gadget, your phone, your laptop, and you just give it to them, and you don't even care to know what these people are actually doing with these phones. And at the end of the day, we are coming to blame the media, we are coming to blame the parents, we are coming to blame the kids. Yet we don't know that we are actually serving whatever is coming out of this thing to our kids without knowing, and we end up blaming everyone else except ourselves. Yet it is our responsibility. Actually, it is our responsibility, because at times you may just find people are just somewhere, they are doing things that are not let me say, they are not okay to do in public. And I'm just saying people, at times even grown-ups, they are doing this in the presence of young kids, PDAing everywhere without caring about who is watching, who might be affected by this, who might who is looking up to us and might actually be seeing this thing as something that they can do, and actually end up affecting their lives negatively. So we should ask ourselves, what are the kinds of freedoms we are giving our people, our young people? What is the kind of example we are setting for our young people? Because you can't tell me that these people just see all these things, maybe on TVs, on, on the internet. They are actually seeing it from people that are influential in their lives. People like their parents, people who are, as in, around the same age as their parents, people like their elder siblings. You're just exposing these things to your young kids, to your young siblings, without even caring. And I'm not just talking about family members. I'm not talking about just parents. I'm not talking about just siblings. I'm talking about the whole society. What are you doing out there in front of the kids? Should we just allow parents to be the only ones to actually bring this thing home to our kids? Because it is actually impossible. Once the kid steps out of the house, it is like the parents have handed them over to you, to everyone out here, to the society. Now deal with them, and whatever you give them is whatever will come out of them. If you give them some behavior that they actually, they're looking at this person and they're like, if he is doing this, why can't I do it? If he is doing why can't I do it? And I'm not talking about girls alone. I'm talking about girls and boys, as in, yeah, collectively. This is something that we should actually try and work it out as a society. Stop blaming these parents. Stop blaming these kids, because these kids could not be what they are without seeing it from somewhere. Whether it's watching them on TVs or on the internet, they are doing it, as in your presence. They are doing it while you are there. And whether or not you're not there, why don't you just try and put some restrictions to these ones, and to these young ones? And I'm sure that restrictions alone cannot just work positively towards this thing, because this thing is a multiple bulleted yes, okay, for lack of a better word, let me just use multiple bulleted thing that is actually supposed to finish this thing. We cannot just take one thing and maybe say, these people don't get enough sex education. They don't get enough education and guidance on, on sex, reproduction, and something like, how can I this word yes, I am looking for this word and it's not coming. Anyway, we cannot just put the blame on one thing. We will have to use several methods for us to actually achieve a better society for our young ones, and that starts from us. Even this sex education, even teaching them different methods of contraception and whatnot, it is actually not just the responsibility of the parents, which is also a conflicting thing, because I feel at some point you might be teaching your kid one or two things, and you end up actually introducing things that they were not even thinking about in their minds, and you wonder, okay, how are we going to work this thing out? You see, it's like a dilemma kind of thing. But whether we like it or not, we should actually teach our kids these things, so that when they are faced with something like this, they can know how to go about it, how to handle it without negatively affecting their lives in whichever way. And it is something that we are supposed to do together, as in everyone. The government is also supposed to support us in this. At least put some restrictions on the kind of content that is supposed to be aired on TVs, especially when our kids are out of school, when our teenagers are out here. At least try and put some restrictions, or maybe some sanctions on people who um, who are actually okay to expose such how can I call it, such, let me say, obscene content to our kids. Yes. And to the next part of of this uh, this discussion is why you should always keep your baby. First of all, I know you are young, you are immature everywhere, physically, emotionally, psychologically. You are not equipped with these skills, with maternal skills. You are not equipped with, the kinds of knowledge that you're supposed to have when you're having a baby. And it is actually something very sad when you get people who are actually very stable financially. Actually, finances are very crucial when you're thinking of having a baby. People just ignore it, but it's actually something very crucial. So at times people are just stable, they are okay, but maybe they feel like they are at the peak of their careers. They are not yet ready, they still don't want their bodies to change or whatnot, and you actually get them considering abortion. Yes, they are grown-ups. So it is something very sad, and we should actually understand that this thing doesn't just affect our young kids. It doesn't just affect it is like everywhere. But have you thought of a possibility of you not ever getting another baby when you actually try and to kill that baby that you have? Have you thought of a possibility of you maybe dying in the process of killing that young one that is so innocent, that was not even there when he was being made, but now he has to face this, your, this thing, and just, die just because you feel like you're not ready. I remember I did not have anything. I was just a student in first year. uh I am not from a rich family, so you can't say that I had parents who could help me look after my baby. No, we didn't have those thingies. And um me being at school was like, that's ka hope that this girl will finish law school and become someone great in future and help us. But now I was the one requiring help from my parents. I was also not that mature physically, emotionally, not even that. I was not like prepared completely for this. And if you just as in look at the surrounding that I was in that place when you just want to, you have seen yourself come being admitted in law school. You just want to succeed, you just want to finish law school and go. But I still kept my baby, and I cannot even explain how, but this baby doesn't lack any basic thing that she needs. She is a product of many hands, by the way, because my mom takes care of her, and when she's not around, my sister comes in. When I'm not around, okay, when I'm around, I take over. She is usually everywhere, but at least she's surviving, and she's actually so okay. So even if you're that teenager who has gotten pregnant early, which we actually so much let me say condemn, we wouldn't like any teenager to be getting pregnant at an early age, because we know whatever comes with it. And by the way, girls, young girls, I am telling you this, by the way, from experience. Whether you like it or not, if this man, this boy, let me say boy or man, yes, because we have actually seen very old men using these things that girls require so much, and they don't have, especially girls from low socioeconomic environments and backgrounds. We have seen old men or people with at least the ability to buy these things, using them to lure them into actually having sex with them. So girls, whether or not you feel like you're ready, or you feel like, when I get pregnancy itakuwa na issue, I will just be okay because maybe my parents have money, my uni have money. Money is not just enough, by the way, for this thing. When you get pregnant and that boy bails is when you'll actually understand that this baby needs a father. And whether you like it or not, you can try as much as you can. You can be the best mom and try and mold that boy into being a man, and try and mold that girl into being whatever she is. But the absence of the father will always make a difference. Girls, this boy that you actually you're like, I am getting pregnant, and whether he takes care of the baby or not, I will be okay. And then maybe you have plans of maybe getting someone else, or you're like, I will still be a girl, so I'll just get someone else. Trust me, these same boys who have made you pregnant are the same people who will go somewhere and they'll tell someone who has actually had a baby just like you, or even you, that you're actually not let me say physically cute. Let me say physically okay. No, you're not okay to actually be with them. These people will actually treat you like, not everyone actually takes motherhood as a special thing. But there are good men out there, by the way. Hatuwezi kata. There are good men out here who will not even look at, that you have you were with another person, got a baby, and things didn't work out, and you had to actually, become single again. There are some who won't even look at you like that. They'll just look at you for who you are. Some who have not even had babies before with other people. But there are some who will be looking at you and they're saying, this person is, she was so irresponsible to the extent of getting a baby and being left by the baby daddy, and and maybe even the parents are like, you cannot get married to this person, you cannot even date them, it's not okay. And there are even at times they will tell you, by the way, that they are okay so that they can get whatever they want from you. But when it's convenient for them, they will actually come out and tell you, no, I'm not okay with you having a baby. I'd rather have, get someone else who has not gotten a baby and start something with them. And some of these people are actually baby daddies to other people. And some of them might even use the fact that you have your baby to just go out there and spread their wings. Yes, wings, yes, and try and go out there and even cheat on you, and to just get their babies to get back at you, or so that you can be at a level ground. Let's just start 1-1, not 1-0. I am telling you this because it actually happens. There are very good men out there, but not all of them are good. So when you want to actually get pregnant, think about everything. Think about yourself first. Think about the baby. And when I say think about yourself, I think of yourself, think of your baby, think of your parents, think of that career that you think is so important, and just imagine yourself with that car driving force, without car fuel, with that car, a sense of purpose. You will actually achieve even better results than you would without that baby of yours, because I'm sure. And if it's so hard for you, if you feel like you don't want this baby completely, I'd prefer that you just carry the baby to term. And when the baby is there, when the baby is now here with us, give the baby up for adoption. There are a lot of people out here who actually need those babies, but they can't have them because they are just not in a position to have the babies. So when you actually kill that baby, and there's someone somewhere who needs that baby more than you do, more than you think you do, because I'm sure the moment you just see your baby like this, it will be so difficult for you to give that baby up. You'll now know why you actually had that baby and why the baby just came at that time. So I'd prefer that if at all you feel like a lot of factors are against you being a mom at that time, if you feel like a lot of factors are working against the fact that you want to be a mom, or maybe you feel like you just don't want to be a mom for your own reasons, just have the baby. Take the baby to to a home where they can be raised, and when they are maybe when maybe parents who don't have babies and need babies come over, they can actually get the babies and raise them. But I'm sure you will never live in peace without your baby. Whether you kill the baby, uh, as in if you kill the baby, you will never live in peace knowing that you killed this baby who was actually so innocent. As in you took a life of someone, because in Kenya life starts at conception, meaning that's a small thing in your tummy, that's a baby already, that's a human being already, and killing it um it should actually be a crime. It must actually be a crime. Yes. So just have your baby, take the baby to someone you think needs the baby more than you do, but don't kill the baby and throw the baby in a in a like in garbage, and just in maybe a toilet. It's so sad. It's so sad that these innocent kids are actually going through these things because you actually did something that you were not prepared of the repercussions um, before you actually did it. Or when you actually did it, you were not prepared just yet for whatever would come afterwards. And for